Hello everyone, welcome to Royal Palace online PU classes. In last class we have discussed about Biot-Savart law and derivation of magnetic field on the axial line of a circular coil. Today we are going to discuss about another law called Ampere's circuital law. So it is similar to Gauss law what you have studied in electrostatics. If you observe this Ampere's circuital law, it is similar to Gauss law. So in electrostatics, to find electric field due to linear distribution of charge like wire or extended objects like infinitely long square plate or infinitely long wire, we used a special law called Gauss law. And again we can prove that Gauss law is nothing but a modification of Coulomb's law. Here also this Ampere's circuital law is similar to Gauss law. What happens in Ampere's circuital law is, let us consider there is a wire which is present perpendicular to the plane of the board. Two wires are there like this. This is wire 1, current is entering into this wire like this, and this is wire 2, current is coming out towards you like this. Okay. These two wires are there. I want to find magnetic field at a point Q. I want to find a magnetic field at a point Q from these two wires, or many wires, maybe instead of 2 you can take 3 wires also, one more wire is also there. So when you want to find magnetic field at this point, because you already know a current carrying wire is a source of magnetic field. So there will be magnetic field due to this wire, wire number 1, let us take this as wire number 1, this is wire number 2, wire number 3. So these 3 wires will produce magnetic field there. For net magnetic field at this point if you want to find, from Biot-Savart law what you have to take? You have to take a small integral of this wire, small integral of this wire and small integral of this wire, and by using Biot-Savart law mu naught by 4 pi IDL sin theta by r, you can find magnetic field here. But it is easier to find from Ampere's circuital law. What Ampere's circuital law says is, you take this point as the radius and draw one line integral, complete one line integral like this, complete one square, sorry, complete one circle, complete one loop. Here we are drawing loops. But in case of Gauss law, suppose if two charges are there, if you want to find electric field, what you have done? If you take infinitely charged wire, you already studied, this is first application of Gauss law in a chapter called electric charges and fields. If you want to find, here we constructed one cylinder, 3-dimensional body we have constructed. If you want electric field from a isolated charge, we constructed one sphere but not loop. But here in Ampere's law, these both are similar, just like a brother, both are like brothers only. Ampere's law and Gauss law exactly similar. But the thing is, there we are finding electric field, here we are finding magnetic field. There we used to construct a 3-dimensional surface called Gaussian surface. We used to construct one Gaussian surface. So in our regular class I also explained in which way we have to construct the Gaussian surface. If the surface is open, we can close it by constructing our own surface and we name it as a Gaussian surface. Similarly, in case of Ampere's circuital law, we can construct a loop which is known as Ampere's loop or Amperian loop. We will construct a loop, and according to this law, B bar dot dl, B bar dot dl, dl bar is equal to mu naught I inside. You can compare with your Gauss law. This is Ampere's law. This is Ampere's law. Next you write Gauss law, just go back to your previous chapter, write Gauss law, E bar dot dA is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the charge inside. You can see the difference here. B bar dot dl, the line integral of B and dl will give mu naught is equal to mu naught I. From this you can find B. So let us come to this surface, this example what you have taken. So according to Ampere's rule, here number of bytes 3 are there, total current inside you have to take. So total current if you are taking, you have to give some sign convention, either inside you are taking positive or outside you are taking positive. For that reason you give one direction to the loop, you can give your own direction, you can give one direction to the loop. I have given clockwise direction. This is a loop, consists of 3 bytes. I am finding magnetic field at a point Q, and for that loop, in order to get the sign convention for current entering inside and coming outside, I will take the direction of this loop. Now to get the direction of the currents, you have to take your right hand, close the fingers in the direction of the loop. You have to close the fingers in the direction of the loop, and thumb gives the direction of current. Thumb gives the direction of current. That thumb which gives the direction of current is positive, opposite is taken as negative. That means here I1 is positive, I1 is positive, I2 is also positive, these two are positive. If you take I3, I3 will be negative. Then what is the net current? What is the net current present inside this loop? According to Ampere's circuital law, B bar dot dl, B bar dot dl bar is equal to mu naught I1 plus I2, I1 plus I2 minus I3. This is the charge present inside. From this you can find B. From this you can find B. This is the definition, line integral. This is the definition and explanation about Ampere's law. What Ampere's law says is the line integral of B bar dot dl is equal to mu naught times the current present inside the loop. That means we will take small elements of this loop. Here we will take some small element, here we will take some small element, like that we go on integration, we will get B. And in your textbook they have given 3 conditions where we can apply Ampere's rule. If you open your NCERT textbook, he told that this law is applicable when we have these 3 conditions. First condition is B must be non-zero, B must be non-zero, and it should be tangential to dl, tangential to dl. This is one condition. That means suppose this is dl, B also should be tangential. B either should be parallel or anti-parallel, no problem. Similarly, next, second what it will tell is when dB is perpendicular to dl, it is non-zero, and here you have to take one more point, constant. This is the second condition. And third condition, when B vanishes, you can observe in your textbook these 3 points he has given. But what he says is we can apply Ampere's law only in these 3 conditions. But if you think at higher level, Ampere's law can be applied in all cases. But in these 3 cases, it is more appropriate. That means it is more useful in these 3 cases. That means most oftenly you can use in these 3 cases. Sometimes, so in NCERT book he has given that only in these 3 conditions I can apply. But actually, even the condition is not from these 3, you can apply. But thing is, in this condition it is most useful. So like this you can apply Ampere's circuital law. Now for this we will take one application, just one application we will take, how to find magnetic field. How to find magnetic field due to a infinitely long wire? There is a wire which is infinitely long. There is infinitely long wire. Find magnetic field due to a infinitely long wire at a distance r from the wire. So, this wire is present like this. This is totally, this chapter I am repeatedly telling, it is 3-dimensional. You have to imagine. Wire is present like this. Current is flowing bottom to top of the board. Now, hold this wire in such a way that thumb is pointing towards the current. The curled fingers will give the direction of magnetic field. That means the magnetic field in this point is into, at this point. And if you come like hold this and curl your fingers, fingers are entering inside. Next, suppose if you want here, this is point A, this is point B. Suppose you want here, close this wire, come here, the fingers are coming towards you. That means magnetic field around this wire will be in this direction, and magnetic field lines are closed lines. So, this is the condition. Now, here you have to find. So, according to Ampere's law, what you have to do? You have to draw a line integral. So, take this distance as r, take this distance as r and draw the line integral like this. Draw the line integral. This is the line integral. You take the distance and draw the line integral. According to Ampere's law, B bar dot dl is equal to mu naught I. Take some small part, integrate this for whole circle, then you will get B dot 2 pi r. The total value of dl for this circle is 2 pi r, is equal to mu naught I. Now, from this you will get B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi r. This is the magnetic field due to a infinitely long wire. This is magnetic field due to a infinitely long wire. And for this we used the first condition, B is non-zero, constant, tangential to dl. At every point it is tangential. At every point you can observe. This is the wire. Around this wire magnetic field is there, like this. At this point it enters inside. At this point it comes towards you. Wire is present on the plane of the board. Magnetic field line is present like this. So, magnetic field enters into the board and come out of the board like this. It enters into, come out, enters into and come out. That is the application 1. And one more application we can do. This has given as an example problem in your NCERT textbook. Let us do that in detail. We has taken one solid cylinder, but I will start first with hollow cylinder. Let us take a magnetic field due to a hollow cylinder. Hollow cylinder. Magnetic field due to a hollow cylinder along its axis at a distance r, such that r is less than capital R, r is greater than capital R. Let us take a hollow cylinder. That means cylinder, inside of the cylinder is without any material, it is hollow like this. Assume that it is infinitely long. Infinitely long, current is flowing like this. This is the direction of current. A hollow cylinder like this, wire. Okay. If you want to know magnetic field due to this wire is hollow and current is flowing like this. If you want to find magnetic field at a point P, let us assume at a point P you are finding the magnetic field. Now, what we can do here? You see this hollow cylinder, assume this as hollow cylinder, assume this as a cylinder in hollow shape, hollow cylinder. Now, you are seeing from the top like this. If you see from the top, you can have one circle like this. You are seeing from here. Now, you are seeing from here like this. You are seeing from here. On the top you are seeing. So, you will get one circle. You can see one circle only, in which is current is flowing towards you like this. Current is flowing. So, current is flowing towards you. current is coming towards you. Current is coming towards you like this. This is cylinder is present into the board like this, you are seeing from here like this. It is top view. This is side view, this is top view. You are seeing from the top. When you are seeing from the top, this is the current direction, and the point P will be somewhere here. Once again I will draw. This is the top view, this is the current direction, here you have the point of observation where you have to find magnetic field. Now what you can do, according to person called Ampere, what you have to do, you have to take this as the radius and complete the Ampere loop like this. Same in case of Gauss law, wherever we want, we just draw one Gaussian surface. We ourselves will draw and we name it as a Gaussian surface. This is Ampere loop we have drawn. Now according to Ampere loop law, what we can do here, B dot dl. In this case, small r is the distance of the point from center, whereas capital R is the radius of the hollow cylinder. This you can take it as case 1, where small r is greater than capital R. That means point is outside the cylinder. Now let us take what happens here. Now if you see here, what you will get is equal to mu naught I. I means I inside. Now this dl is nothing but the radius up to which the point is present. So B into 2 pi r is equal to mu naught I. So from this what you will get, B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi into small r. From this what you can tell, B is inversely proportional to 1 by r. B is inversely proportional to 1 by r. In case 2, I will consider small r is less than capital R. Now we can observe the similarities between Gauss law and Ampere's law. Now we are observing. So same application we have, hollow sphere, inside the hollow sphere, outside the hollow sphere, on the surface of hollow sphere. Here also hollow wire, they are taking point outside, point inside. Now let us go for your top view again. This is the top view of your cylinder. This is the current direction. You are seeing like this. This is the current direction. Now you are taking a point, this is the radius, you are taking a point which is less than, now point of observation is P. Previously you are out, you are outside previously, now you are inside this wire. Now again same principle will follow, because whatever may be the case, concept is same. Ampere's law will not change. Our cases may change, but Ampere's law remains same. According to Ampere, wherever we have to find magnetic field, there you have to complete the loop. Just complete the loop, then what you will get? Again mu naught I is equal to B dot dl. Integration of this loop will be B dot 2 pi r. Now here, what is the current inside our loop? Now just you have to think, what is the current inside our loop? What was the charge when you are inside a hollow sphere? What was the charge when you are inside a hollow sphere? the charge was 0 because charge is present on the surface. So here also current inside is 0, so B is equal to 0. When small r is equal to capital R, again case 3, when small r is equal to capital R, you will get exactly B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi r, because their ampere loop radius is same. When you are here, ampere loop radius is equal, small r is equal to capital R here. Put a small r is equal to capital R, this is the value of B. So from this what you can understand, magnetic field inside the hollow wire 0, on the surface it is maximum. Once you go away from the surface, it decreases. So you can draw one graph here between B and R, up to capital R, the value of B is 0, and afterwards it decreases like this. Here it is 0, B is 0 here, but here B is proportional to 1 by R. This is the condition. Okay, this is about magnetic field in a hollow cylinder when you are away from the out of the point, when you are inside, when you are on the surface. Again in your NCERT textbook, he took a solid cylinder. That also let us see what happens. If you take solid cylinder, what is the condition? What happens if you take solid cylinder? Solid cylinder means inside also it contains matter, so current will be present throughout the cylinder, just like a solid sphere. So we will take a solid cylinder, uniform solid cylinder in which current is distributed uniformly. This is solid, total it is solid only. Now let us take the first case. What you have taken there, first case, small r is greater than capital R. So here also we are finding magnetic field along 3 points. Small r is greater than capital R. So first one is case 1. You can observe very carefully. Case 1. Case 1, small r is greater than capital R. Again I am drawing the top view. Here current is coming out. Let us take current is flowing like this here also. Same condition, but the thing is it is filled with some matter. So current is coming out like this. But difference is inside also there is current. This is the condition. Now let us take a point S, in which such a way that capital R is the radius of this wire, small r is the distance. So again according to person called Ampere, what you have to do, just complete the loop. So whatever may be the application, laws in physics always remain same. This is you are completing the loop. Now according to Ampere, what you can write, mu naught I is equal to B dot dl, B bar dot dl bar. Sometimes you may get a doubt, I am taking B bar dot dl, but dot product magnitude is B dl cos theta. I am not writing cos theta here. Here theta will be 0 because it is acting tangentially. Still we are following the first point. It is acting tangentially. So when it is acting tangentially, mu naught I is equal to B bar dot dl. Here total current which is flowing inside this wire is present inside my loop. That means Ampere loop. So therefore I can write B is equal to mu naught I by, The dl, if I go on integrate, the integration means small part will take and we will integrate to the total part. Total value of dl will be 2 pi r, therefore mu naught I by 2 pi into small r. This is the condition. And next, so when small r is greater than capital R, B is inversely proportional to 1 by r. Now let us go inside. We will go inside and we will see what happens. So in previous case, when I went inside, there was no magnetic field. I did not face any magnetic field. Let us see what happens when we enter inside. So when we enter inside, here the case is different. Here we will have current because some matter is present there. In previous case, no current. Now some matter is present, so I will have some current inside. So again I will draw your top view. This is top view of the cylinder. This is cylinder. You are seeing like this top view. Top view appear as circle only. If you see sidewise, this cylinder. If you are seeing from the top, it appear as circle. So top view I am drawing. In this current direction you already know, current is coming towards you like this. Current is coming towards you. Cylinder is like this. You are seeing like this. Now let us take the capital R, and just like that, what we have done in case of hollow cylinder, take a small r which is inside this capital R, which is inside the wire. Like this you complete the Ampere's loop. Complete the Ampere's loop. Now according to Ampere's law, this is case 2. Case 2, where small r is less than capital R. That means you are inside now. According to Ampere's law, B bar dot dl. This dl is the line integral of Ampere's surface, Ampere's loop what you have drawn, not this total wire. So where you are drawing that loop, there only B bar dot dl is equal to mu naught by current inside. This is the definition of Ampere's law. Now what is current inside? In previous case, when you are in a hollow cylinder, you said current inside is 0. Now what is the current inside? Whether current is there inside or not? Inside current is there because it is solid wire. Everywhere current is distributed, so current is there. And current which is flowing is proportional to surface area. So current I, total I by current inside is equal to, so up to this part how much current is there, that I have to calculate. Up to this part how much current is there, that I have to calculate. Current, total current by current inside is equal to total surface area. Total surface area is pi capital R square divided by surface area of this pi small r square. Pi and pi will get cancelled. Current inside you will get current inside you will get it as I into small r square by capital R square. I into small r square by capital R square. So that current inside you write there. B dot dl you have to take the line integration of the loop which you have drawn. So line integration of that loop is, my loop radius is smaller only. So B into 2 pi r is equal to mu naught I into small r square by capital R square. This square and r will get cancelled. Now B is equal to mu naught I r by 2 pi r square. That means remaining all are constant, B is proportional to r. This is inside. There we got 0, here we are not getting 0. Now when you are on the surface, small r is equal to capital R. Next case 3, what you can write in case 3, when you are on the surface, case 3, when you are on the surface, small r is equal to capital R, substitute there, B is equal to mu naught I into capital R, because in place of small r I am writing capital R, by 2 pi r square and r will get cancelled, mu naught I by 2 pi r when you are on the surface. So, these are the values. So, when you are inside a hollow cylinder there was no magnetic field, when you are outside the hollow cylinder there was magnetic field. And if you draw graph between B and small r, when r was 0, B was 0, because B is proportional to r until it is capital R. So, from center to capital R it is proportional to r, B is proportional to r here. Once it reaches the radius, when it is equal to capital R, when small r is equal to capital R, until you are inside, afterwards you are coming out, when you are coming out B is proportional to 1 by r, you can observe here, B is proportional to 1 by r. So, when you are coming out B is proportional to 1 by r like this. So, B proportional to 1 by r. This is how the direction of magnetic field is drawn. So, B on y axis, r on x axis, B is proportional to r, B is proportional to 1 by r. So, you can observe the difference here. Inside a hollow cylinder up to here there was no, and afterwards it decreases. So, this is how you have to apply Ampere's law. So, today what we have discussed is what is Ampere's law. It is nothing but another form of Biot-Savart law. Biot-Savart law, Ampere's law, both are same, but in few cases we will apply Ampere's law. That to 3 cases where we will apply, that also we have discussed. And magnetic field due to a infinitely long wire, that is B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi r, and inside hollow cylinder and a solid cylinder we have discussed. So, this is the complete concept of Ampere's circuital law. So, you can go through this, and if you have any doubts you can leave in the comment section or leave in our WhatsApp group. Thank you for joining me.